Welcome to the pod, Find Your Path, and today I got the Zack Gray blessing us with his presence, so stoked to have you, bro.
Dude, yeah, man. Blessed by the best. It's really good to be here, man.
Sick. I gotta be better about, like, turning my phone off, too, because it, like, blows up, and I'm like, oh, shit.
Airplane mode, dude, or podcast mode.
They have a podcast mode?
I mean, I guess you could just say
Airplane
mode is podcast mode.
There you go. Well, sick, bro. We go back, I don't know, a few years now. I don't know, maybe 5 or so years. I've seen you do some really, really dope shit. I know you got a lot of cool stuff going on nowadays, so I kind of wanted to just, talk to you about what you're excited about, what's going on with you, and, what you got to bless us with.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to think when we met. Was it 2000? I've been in Vegas for almost 10 years now. When did we first meet? Was it at like Six and Franklin or something like that?
I think it was around 2017. Because I had just gotten out of jail.
That's right, dude.
And then I don't know how I found out about you. I just remember Andy, my boy Andy. I think it was somewhere
Dude,
around like.
I remember now. Okay, so Andy worked with Roa.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's
Shout out to Roa.
Shout out
kid,
to the
bro.
boy. Yeah. And then so I don't know how you knew Roa.
Roa came to Six and Franklin. So yeah, if everyone doesn't know, Six and Franklin is it was owned by Joey Van. It's like a super creative house. I mean, I was in Vegas for like a year, maybe, and then a friend of mine from Sacramento, this guy named James Cavern, he goes by a different name now, Jamesy, but he was at Six and Franklin with, I think honestly, Rasar from the leak and RIP, super sad, and then I want to say Cameron. I can't remember his last name right now, but he was in Vegas and he's like, dude, I'm at this house, blah, 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 come over. And they were just all hanging out and I saw there was a studio there. And this was like the first time I was in any kind of creative like setting or invited anywhere. So as soon as I walked in the house, I was like,
this is dope.
I need to like figure out how to like be here. Honestly, dude. So like just super vibed out with Joey. And then it turned out that like he was looking for like an in-house music person. And yeah, dude, like just kind of vibed out with them. They had those, I don't know if you ever came to like where they had the jam sessions.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I went on this like disc golf trip to California and then came back and, did this like jam thing with them, or maybe that was before that. But as soon as I came and like did this jam and like did my thing and, basically I got kind of offered the job and was like the music guy at this house. And so, that's when at some point, I don't know how Roa was there, but basically I think we did all kinds of creative stuff and Andy and Roa, I think, or Roa was doing some kind of video stuff at some point.
So yeah, that was around the time we first met Roa. Cause me and Andy were like doing Pathfinder before, cause me and Andy go like way back even before that. And somehow we just saw Roa start popping up like around, and he had moved from California, I think, or some shit. I don't really know his origin story. I should have him on here.
The Roa origin story. I want to know too, dude.
Yeah, he's off the camera a lot. So then somehow we started like shooting with Roa, just like freelancing, like just like getting together. This was back in the day before any of us had anything. So we'd be like, "You want to go out shooting?" Like, okay, let's just go downtown and waste time and fucking shoot shit, like. So that's how we started linking up with Roa.
Bro.
And then somehow they brought you up about like, and I was still doing music at that point in time, and they're like, yeah, you should do something. Somehow we got together somehow, somewhere, and went from there. I don't even really remember either.
Yeah, I saw your Instagram at some point, and I was just like, this dude does music. He's in Vegas, and he has a bunch of followers, so like, I guess I'll try to connect with him too.
Let's do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And then, we jammed on a couple records. The one record, I remember it wasn't even finished, and I put it out, and you're all pissed off about it. And I was like, bro, I don't even care about shit that much. Sounds fine.
Dude, did we take it down? What
No,
happened?
it's up. So like
No formality, right?
Yeah. We like worked on it somehow, and then it was just stuck forever. And you're like, I still want to work on it and do shit. And then like I was putting together like an album or some shit, and I was like, it's going on there. Fuck it, whatever. Put you on all the fucking BMA, whatever. You were on the BMI on the record. I was like, it's going out.
Make sure I'm registered always
on the record. So.
No, man, it's funny. I was listening to that song the other day, and yeah, it's cool, man. That's actually like one of my kind of, I mean, you know, I've been doing all the EDM stuff forever, and I guess you could still call that like a top line, even though it's like a collab. But that little vocal part, wish I never called back down with you to get me out. It's sick, dude.
That is sick. Like, that was dope.
I know it breaks you if I'm being honest.
I don't even remember my words.
So straight up, give me love, no formality. Myself or someone else. I'm giving you away. Yeah, dude.
So, anyways, since then you went off to be like a multi-platinum recording artist, and fucking, I stopped doing music. So let's catch up to speed, bro. What happened after that?
Oh my gosh, dude! After that, there's so much.
Because that was before you even were doing like EDM really that much, right?
Okay, so all right, try to see where I want to start with this. So, okay, so. There's obviously a story that leads up to this. So you tell me where you want this story to start.
Well,
after that,
what day were you born? So you were born, and then what happened?
No, that's too much. All right, tell me where to start.
Wherever. Let's say, okay, you got to Vegas, 6 in Franklin. Probably, the year 2017, I think, is when we did No Formality.
Yeah.
And then
that's a good place to start. No, I like that. Okay, So I moved to Vegas in 2015, eventually got to 6 in Franklin. I kind of relaunched myself as a solo artist. I mean, I had been doing the band thing for forever, man. And so came out with like my first 3 kind of songs in 2017, 18 that were a blend of like, you know, alternative rock, which is what I did forever, and then EDM, which I kind of got into in 2010. And then that's when I met you, somewhere in that time frame. And then this dude name's Pranay, he goes by the artist Immune from India, just started hitting me up on Facebook a bunch. And
okay, keep going.
Yeah.
I'm like putting pieces together.
So I don't know how he found me, man, but like this dude just bugged me, was persistent enough with me to have me sing on this chill house EDM track. And just for, I like to tell this story, but then stop and say this. If you really want to work with someone, whoever you are, just keep bugging them. Unless they straight up tell you like, yo, leave me alone. Because there's a fine line between like being persistent and actually like really bugging someone. But if you really want to work with someone, keep bugging them. Keep being persistent, and maybe someday they'll say yes. And literally, if I didn't eventually say yes to this, who knows where I'd be. It's kind of interesting. So eventually said yes and did this song called Lie Over You. And then about a month later, after we self-released it, Chill Nation wanted to sign it.
What?
Do you know what Chill Nation is?
Yeah, okay. The YouTube channel?
Yeah, so Chill Nation and Trap Nation. Trap Nation at the time was like probably still, I don't know if they still are now, but they're like they were the like 30th biggest YouTube channel on YouTube.
At that time?
At that time, yeah.
Yeah, that was massive. I remember I was like, oh, Zach made it, bro. He's on board.
Dude, it's interesting, man. Yeah, it's like that was when I really started to get some real streams. I mean, I had some streams because the first couple songs I did, a dude from Sony who had a subsidiary kind of label called Black 17, distributed those, and that's when I first like started to see the Spotify like go up, and the deal that they made with me was really good. And then when I got that song signed, it just opened up the most massive door to the EDM space. And now I understand it's like EDM DJs are like sharks, and when there's a new singer in the water, it's like they smell blood.
Oh, they're getting it.
So as soon as like everyone heard me, or the labels heard me, I was on. And so that's why, I got a bunch of DJs, just coming after me and them sending me work. And, I did a couple collabs, and then I did a couple of these songs with house DJs and this girl DJ named Nora Van Elken. And dude, in 2018 with some songs and some remixes, there was a day one remix got like 100,000 plays in a day. It got like on a pop playlist, and that was the year I almost reached almost 500,000 monthly listeners. I haven't gotten there yet, but dude, it's like as soon as because I had said for a long time since I started liking EDM in about 2010, I had always said if I could just get on some EDM songs, like it would be easy because I already know how to produce myself and record.
Right.
And if I didn't have to like produce an entire record and I could get my name out there as Zack Gray, like that would be cool.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course, as fate would have it, that's really exactly what happened. And so, but yeah, man, I mean, that was really cool. It was cool to get that success in, you know, from doing music. Yeah, to backtrack a little bit, it's like, dude, I got signed out of high school.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so I got signed to like 2 years out of high school with my band. We got signed to Wind Up Records, which is the same label that has like Creed and Evanescence.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bro.
That's sick.
Super funny. But that deal didn't end up working out. So by the time I was 20, I was already signed and dropped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, dude, I've been doing this stuff for so long, but that was like the first moment, and I was like 26, 7 maybe or something like that, where I was like, wow, yeah, I made it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, but yeah, quickly after that, I was like, dude, I don't want to be an EDM singer.
Really? Like, so 2018, was that like the pinnacle of like when you had the most successful EDM projects, or?
Well, it's interesting because in 2022 I had more success as like an actual artist in the EDM space and not just like a singer, right? So they're kind of different. I would say like stream wise, yes, but in terms of like actually having serious traction as an artist, no. But I'll say this, like from about 2017 when you knew me till about 2020, it's like, dude, you know, I had a lot of traction in the Vegas scene.
Yeah.
Right? Where I was playing, I was doing shows. I was
You were playing a lot, dude. You were playing all the time.
Yeah. So I was doing the thing. I was doing the thing that, you know, all artists do, which is, you know, put out music and play shows. But yeah, at the end of like 2018, yeah, man. So it's like I said, I never set out to be like a singer in the EDM space. Like I always wanted to be like in a band. So I wanted to be like the next Coldplay or Radiohead or just like any of those old.
Yeah.
Not old, I guess they are kind of old now. Whatever, you know what I mean? Just like those world like bands who can play stadiums. Like
Right.
that's what I wanted. So yeah, when I had all this success with the EDM stuff, I was like, this is cool, but like I don't want to be known for this.
Right.
Like I want to make an album, you know? So that's why in 2018 into 2019, I basically said no to I was just, dude, you know, it takes so much work, whether you're producing an entire song or not, like to write, record, and vocally engineer an entire vocal for an EDM track. I mean, dude, it takes a lot of time and energy.
100%. Yeah,
You know?
any record, really.
Yeah, so I was like, man, I'm putting so much time into this, and at the time I wasn't really getting, you know, a vocal fee, which is what, you know, the standard is. Like I was still kind of even doing some stuff for free.
Really? For like these DJs?
Yeah, because
And were you like just on the record, or how were you getting benefiting at all?
yeah, so yeah, I guess just as a blanket sorry. This is a blanket statement. So in the EDM space, you know, what does every single DJ have in common? They all need vocalists, right? And so once you get to a certain level with your artist career or as a singer, it's like you can charge a fee. So my fee before I got out of music at the time was like around $1,500 to $2,000 or something like that. So it's like they pay me half up front, half when the record's done. And the reason for the vocal fee is, it's like, dude, every DJ's making, you know, can make a beat, but it's like, dude, you know, to have someone write an incredible song and also engineer it, so like send you a perfect vocal at the end. And what I do is have a very heavy hand in production and songwriting and chord stuff. So it's like, you know, that's a very valuable thing. So basically 100%. That's something that people get paid for in the EDM space.
So you get paid the like upfront fee plus like whatever like percentage of the record?
Yeah. So it's still, so the deal is always, you know, for the most part, still 50-50. So it's like, if you're the DJ, we're still going to split it in half, but you're still going to pay me to do what I'm going to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So, but before I had, you know, enough traction and before I really knew better, it's like, of course DJs were trying to pay me nothing.
Yeah. They're trying
you know
to
what I'm saying?
it.
So I was getting paid nothing. I really wasn't working on my stuff. I was working on their stuff, because even if it's a collab with a singer,
they still want like their direction or whatever.
Well, I still feel no matter what, like if you're a DJ and you're working with a singer, it's like, it's still more for their project
Right.
than the singer's project. Does that make sense?
100%.
So yeah, I just kind of was like, dude, I want to start working on my own stuff. So that's when, I had a couple more singles come out, and then I was focused on making the album, which was Imperfect Love, which came out in 2019. And then, I had known the guys from Life is Beautiful for a really long time. They came in my restaurant I used to work at. And so, I played with Mike Xavier. Shout out to Mike Xavier. Love you, bro. We were supposed to talk today, but I guess you were busy. It's okay. I love you. We're gonna talk soon. But yeah. So Mike Xavier, we played. He like had me on for that song that we did in 2018, and I just kind of. They were like, they asked me to play.
Let's go.
So that was really dope. So
you get like a fee for playing too, or how did that work?
Yeah, I got a fee for playing Life is Beautiful. I mean, it wasn't crazy. It was probably like $1,500 to $2,000.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, but yeah. So leading up to Life is Beautiful, finishing the album, which was so much work.
Yeah.
If anyone's ever made an album, like, dude, it is.
Yeah, it's not, especially if you're doing like all the production and stuff too. Like, most people, that's something we had in common. Didn't play as many instruments as you, but I produced the records that I was always on,
Yeah.
So like it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, dude, a lot of my album was co-produced too, but I mean, still, it's like, dude, even then with everything, with writing, with just mixes and mastering and everything, so it's a lot. So, but finished that, released that in September. Then we had Life is Beautiful. Then I played the Rise Festival, and then in February had like a headlining show at Bunkhouse. And that's actually funny, man. The last show that I had, I had like food poisoning or something. Like I even had to go to the back of the stage and like throw up.
What?
And it was like, I almost called it like my Jordan flu game show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I made it through the set. I had to throw up mid set, but dude, the amount of people that were there and how supportive everyone was, and like everyone buying merch, like it was cool, man.
That's dope.
Like it was really cool. And
did Bunkhouse go out of business? I don't know.
Dude, Bunkhouse I think burned down.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's such an iconic venue for Vegas.
Dude, it was my favorite venue. Shout out to Bunkhouse. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I think the space like caught on fire or something.
Insurance claim?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, dude, that was definitely my favorite venue. It's really sad to know that's not a place anymore. So basically had that show. Obviously it wasn't the best feeling because I got really sick. But it was really cool. And then, as we all know, March is when 8 Days of Slow the Spread was. So and we all know what happened after that. So yeah, man. So basically, once COVID was kind of in full effect, I definitely didn't want to work at a restaurant with the mask on, and.
So you were still working in the restaurant up until then? What?
Yeah,
That's
man.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
hustling.
Well, I went back to being a server. And this is what I did before I moved to Vegas, and what I did at the beginning. But while I worked at Six and Franklin, that was like I was hired to work there and live there. And then after I moved out, I lived with a girlfriend at the time. But then I did Uber, and then I went to I basically crashed my car doing Uber, going like 3 miles an hour, looking down at my phone at some crypto thing. It was just funny because like at the end of 2017, it was like crypto crashed, my car crashed, had no job because that was my job.
Yeah.
And actually, I'll kind of tell this little story because I think it's really important. Was living with a girlfriend at the time, was doing Uber, crashed my car. I had like signed this deal, this other kind of record label, and didn't work out with them. So got dropped again, lost a bunch of songs again that I couldn't release, crashed my car.
So then they like own the records when that happens, or like?
Yeah, man, that's happened to me. That's happened to me twice now, where when we first got signed, the first time, it's like if they pay for the process, whatever it is, it's like we didn't have to pay back whatever advance they did, but it's like, they own those songs. And it's funny, man, I was actually going through my old computer because, and we're kind of getting sidetracked, but I like it, whatever. Let's go. I'm super ADD anyway. So, but pretty cool, man. So the other night, this guy hits me up on Facebook Messenger and just sends me this super long thing about how basically my old band's music like saved his life, and it like saved him and his friend's life. Yeah.
dope.
And I was just like, yo, this is, and I know that's why no matter what, like whether I take a break now or doing other things, it's like, your music is a service and you have no idea who it's affecting. And
right.
like,
Who's even listening to it?
I mean, for any of us, man,
Yeah.
it's like there's maybe just people who like your song literally saved their life and they're just never going to say anything to you.
Yeah. I'll get still a few thousand streams a month, and I'm like, this is fucking crazy. You guys are still listening to this shit?
Yeah. And so who knows? And that's why I think, there's ways to go upon things, but man, just like whoever, like put out your stuff, like however you have to get there, like put out your stuff because, your music needs to come from you, but dude, it's not for you.
Yeah, that's true.
It's for other people. And so just remember that. And so I just say that to say,
so segue back to the crash through life or
no. Okay. So no, I remember where we're going. Okay. So we're talking about the record labels owning the songs. Okay. So, but basically he hit me up and was like, hey man, like I can't find this old song. So then I just went and did this complete deep dive last couple of days, just like putting all my old music together with the band and all the old demos and all this stuff. And I have this like huge folder now
of just like all your records,
all my old stuff. Yeah, it's cool, man.
That's
it's like a lot. It's a lot. And so I'm gonna basically like make this all nice and like basically send this to him and some other fans that we had from back in the day. And I've actually also just thought of like, dude, like come sue me, I guess, old record deal. But like literally like I've thought about just like putting like all of this old stuff just like and just releasing it.
Well, you should,
like
bro,
like 100 songs on like an album on Spotify.
You
and
should
just be like, come sue me.
And that would be the title. That would be fucking dope.
Honestly, bro, I literally, dude, I literally thought that
it's like you with
like,
the middle finger.
Like or just like or just like something where it's like they're probably gonna like they could sue me for this, like enjoy it while it's up.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's what we call it. Enjoy it while it's up.
Well, dude, you never know because like a record could fucking just blow up and go viral and then like they will sue you or whatever, but it'll benefit them. Like, you know what I mean? It'll be like, oh yeah, all right, well this record would have never done anything had you not do it, so we're gonna take 80%, here you go. Or whatever the fucking case may be. You could negotiate.
Dude, I like it, man. And so not only that stuff from the past, but there's that second, so let me stay on track. But so basically, when they first signed and dropped us, it's like they own those records, right? And then at the end of 2017, when I crashed my car, that was another time where like they had paid for some stuff, and then I like couldn't release the music, right? And so, but some of those songs, there's like one song where I'm like, dude, this would, if I just release a song today and put content into this, like, bro, it would explode. It's like, it's this song called All Good. And so I was thinking about all that last night where
I would do it. I'm not a legal advisor, but you know what I mean?
No, I'm going to do it.
You should.
I'm going to do it at some point. And so, okay. So yeah, at the end of 2015, all this stuff crashed, the record deal, gone, car crashed. And while my car was like smoking on the side of the road, waiting for whoever, tow truck, I was like, this looks really bad and this sucks. But I said to myself, I was like, I don't know why, I don't know how, but like, this is a good thing.
Yes.
And I affirmed that to myself.
100%,
like,
bro.
Everyone knows, man, I'm a believer and God's like been moving more in my life than he's ever been. But that was just a moment too, where it was just like, dude, you have to, in the most, there's only two choices to make. If something really bad happens to you, you can either decide this is the worst thing ever and now my life's ruined, okay? Or you go, this is the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Pop the champagne because something amazing is going to come from this. Of every adversity, there's a seed of equal or greater value. That's what I tell all my guys. That's how I live my life. And that's a great attitude because something amazing will happen. Somehow this is the best thing that could have happened to me. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened.
Dude, I mean, look, there's a coin has two sides, but it can't like not have two sides. It's like everything has two sides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
Damn,
like,
that's crazy. I've never heard that. It can't not have two sides. Huh. That's interesting.
There's always another side, right? So always look for the good side,
100%.
especially in the worst situation. So, but yeah, man. So after that, went back to being a server, right? And 2017. Okay, so Where did we leave off after that?
Uh,
Where do we start with that?
So we're at like kind of like up to speed. Like Life is Beautiful.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You played Life is Beautiful.
Oh yeah. Okay.
COVID.
I can't remember how we got on that. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. I remember now. Okay. Thank you guys for following. Super ADD and like definitely like go off the rails on tangents, but I love it. But I always like make it a point to try to make sure we
Cohesive.
get back on point. Dude, something I heard lately. This is really good. Never tell a story without making a point, and never make a point without telling a story.
There you go. That's crucial for sales as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So COVID happened. I didn't want to work at I didn't want to be a server anymore because that's what I had gone back to. And so I had known about this girl who was an EDM singer, and even one of these girls who worked at my job knew her, and I knew that's all she did. I knew she just did EDM stuff and made money, right? And so, and I had already known her, kind of just like saw her profile or whatever. So I basically bugged her enough where I finally got on the call with her, and the call went really great. She gave me like a lot of advice on a lot of things, and then basically linked me with her dad, who was her manager, like that same day. And you know, they had already kind of known me from what I've already done in the EDM space. So you know, he basically promised me like, hey, we can make you all this money a month if you just, you know, if you do EDM. And the amount of money he told me that I could make a month, when I learned later how much work that would have been to actually do that, was like not really
realistic
because all my songs are something I went through that was like some serious pain. And like how many like amazing emotional songs can you write every month? Could I write 5 songs every month that were amazing?
Maybe if you dug deep enough.
Anyways,
Drake did it.
Well, I'm not Drake.
You just have to have sex with lots of women.
I didn't have sex with enough women, I guess.
That's probably true.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
But it's true though. As soon as I got my now wife, that was the end of my music career.
Yeah, it's really interesting, man. So, you know, just on that tangent, it's like, you know, I've been a Christian my whole life, but there's a difference between actually living by, you know, being obedient to God and like not. And so, you know, I was not for a very long time, and you know, all my music comes from all the relationships I really shouldn't have been in anyways, kind of.
There you go.
But it's interesting because if I didn't go through those relationships, I would have no music career.
The records,
so,
yeah.
So it's like that was God. I mean, no matter what, it's like God was working through all of that. And if I didn't have all this content to write about,
yeah,
we wouldn't have probably be even having this conversation, as funny as that is, bro.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, that's where at least like my music stemmed from too, you know. And so it was really hard, I mean, for myself, like once I was happily in a relationship, to make music. It was like, what do I even talk about? My life is cool. I just talk about how cool my life is. And I did that a little bit, and it was just like, it's not the same. I mean, but my story's a little different. Like the business took off, and I like literally decided to be like, okay, Pathfinder's been paying the bills forever. Like, why don't I just like go really deep into that, and then I'll circle back on the music thing. And so I had to like consciously make a decision, which like felt really like I felt like a failure, you know, like for a long time, not a long time until I got over it, but it was a straight up like identity crisis that I had to like release and move on. And I still jam, you know what I mean, but not like try to do it professionally really anymore. Although like if I just made it huge, like just with business, which is my plan anyways, and I just have like $100 million or whatever, which is the plan anyways, I would buy like a Drake feature just cause like, you know, I know there's a lot of politics, but like whoever like the most popular person I could get, like Chris Brown or something, like just to like do it, just to be like, fucking did it, fuck everybody. Hit record.
Dude, I'm in like, look, in a very different way, I'm in the same position now where, yeah, man, I mean, I'll kind of get to that point in the story, but just to like say on that point, like when I got to the point where I was like, dude, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Like I had a massive identity crisis, bro. I was chasing music for like over 20 years.
Yeah, dude.
And so to come to a point where I literally like told myself and told everyone around me, like, I quit. I'm done. Like that was not only, I'm sure, for people who knew me, like, what?
Yeah.
You know, because I literally stopped when I had like almost the most stuff going on in a way. not good person, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, that was tough. But I will say, like, when I did release that and I really let it go, there was a lot of peace from that.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at it like this, is like, when I first, like, when I was younger, really young, like early preteens, like when I first started to write a song, it's like there was a thread of like always working on a song. And that thread was going for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? And then at some point I just like broke it off and I dropped it.
Whoa, that's great. That's deep. I've never even thought of it like that.
Yeah. Like think about it. Think about when you first started your first song and then how much you worked on songs of like, gotta work on the song, gotta play the show, gotta try to get the song signed, gotta do the thing, gotta blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah,
all
blah, blah,
towards that, yeah.
It's like that's a whole thread of like this whole process of being a creator or like pursuing music.
Right.
And so, yeah, I was like, dude, I'm done. The thread, I'm cutting it and I'm dropping it.
That's crazy.
So
what kind of forced that? Like I said, my situation is different, but what made you come to that point in like making that type of decision?
Yeah, so I guess we can kind of pick up where the story left off because that's exactly where this leads. So in 2017, when COVID happened, didn't want to work at a restaurant, met the management, and then the day I quit my job, this is also crazy, I broke my arm skateboarding. Like, no joke. Day I quit my job, same day I broke my arm skateboarding.
Dude, I broke my wrist skateboarding this year. It sucked.
Okay, so, but look, on the bright side, it was actually how I was able to get unemployment.
There you go.
I can't go back to work. My arm's broken. I was a server at a restaurant. So, anyways, yeah. So, and dude, it's funny. Even like the first songs that I did in the EDM space, like I had to produce on my laptop with like one hand. No joke, dude.
Which arm was it? Right.
So I broke my right arm.
Oh shit,
dude. Yeah, it was rough. So, COVID's happening, but I really did make a decision, like, and this is to get to what you just asked me. This was it. So, I really made a compromise, or I settled. I was like, okay, I can't play live. I can't really do what I want to do, and I don't want to work at a restaurant anymore. So if I'm going to try to be a musician full time, like, and EDM vocals is the only way that I can like make a living, then like, okay, I'll try that. Right. And I'll do that for as long as whatever. And I was like, we'll see where this goes.
Right.
But I really did make a compromise. I mean, I really settled for what was something what was available. Time. I mean, I never set out to be an EDM DJ. I thought it would be a part of my career, but I wasn't like, didn't want to make it my main thing.
So how did you like leverage your vocals to become like supplement your like full-time income or whatever, make a living off of that?
So I did get unemployment, like I said. But yeah, so I was at the point in my EDM career where like and especially with the management, they got me the vocal fee.
Oh, I see.
So they were helping me get, at least $800 to $1,500, whatever, a song.
Yeah.
So that was, and I was blessed to always have a collab on the table. I did, not probably. I had to say no way more than I said yes.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. There were, many. Almost every other day, like at least multiple times a week while I was doing it, people would reach out to me to do.
That's pretty
vocals
cool,
on their stuff. Yeah, it was cool, man.
I would have been pimping, like, yep, take the fee, put you on the list, keep going.
I did. That's what it was. But it's like, I was like, I was really particular, man. So it's like, if I didn't care what size DJ you were. It's like, if I didn't like the song or just didn't work, I wasn't going to say yes to it because no matter what, it's like, I looked at it as every song I do, it's representing me.
Yeah.
100%. So I want to be able to do the best job I can. But anyway, so I did that during 2020, and then when the world like started to open up again in 2021, I was like, dude, I want to play live. And at the time there was only like 2 singers in the space who could actually like play shows as like an EDM singer. And so
you're sick live too. Like,
thanks,
people
man.
that haven't seen you.
yeah, I definitely miss playing live, man. And then, because we like at Life is Beautiful, we did the kind of like blend of the EDM and the regular stuff. And I also got to play my first DJ set at Life is Beautiful too on like a smaller stage. So that was really dope. It was cool that they let me do both things. I was trying to get them to have us play like in the dance tent with the band. I thought that would have been sick. Honestly, too, because we were playing early and I was like, if we're playing early, if we can play in the shade in the EDM tent, that would be dope. Anyways, they didn't give that to us, but it's whatever. So, But yeah, so basically as the world started opening up again, I was like, dude, I want to play live. And the only way I guess I can play live is to like come out as like I'm a DJ too, and I already produce. So that's why in 2022 I kind of started to like work on this solo Zack Gray EDM stuff, right? And then I released this couple singles and EP. I got on like the cover of Bass Lounge, which was like a big Spotify EDM playlist, and then played Lost in Dreams, which was the label that I signed to that festival at the end of 2022. But yeah, full transparency, just a couple things that happened to me in that year was yeah, it's like, you know, I have strong beliefs about what's going on in the world, and I'm a Christian, and I see a lot of evil stuff, and I spoke out about a couple things and had people like come at me, try to cancel me and stuff.
What?
You know, people pull songs, like label threaten me, and you know, and so at the time I was like, dang, you know, it was tough to go through that. And then I just realized like this was kind of like the beginning of the end for me. And what I realized is dude, if I really believe the stuff that I do, which is the truth, it's not just a belief, it's a fact. And I have my music in contracts with who knows.
Yeah, who knows who.
Who knows who. That's an issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I really want to be an independent person and have independent thought, which I know is not a popular thing to have an independent thought these days. But if you want to be someone like that and have an independent thought, like you need to own your stuff and you need to be in control of it, you know? And so as that year rolled on, I still got to play that festival. And they even said like, I'm lucky I got to play that, to be honest. Yeah. So as the year rolled on, played that festival. Then I went into Art Basel. I was kind of big in like the NFT music space last year too. That's a whole other rabbit hole I don't even want to talk about. Twitter Spaces. Yeah, I just got to the point where I was just like so tired of collabs. And one was because I didn't really have the energy to like work on my own music because someone was always waiting on me to finish a vocal for them. So, yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I just turned what I had a passion about into this job that I just didn't like anymore. And like all the songs I did are great. I put my heart and soul into all the songs like I always do. But, you know, from dealing with the stuff in the industry, at the time, it's like the thread. Remember we talked about the thread?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I decided I wanted to do music professionally when I was like 13. So like to be grinding for like 20 years.
Right.
And then get to this point where I was like, dude, now I'm doing something that like I didn't even really set out to do anyways. And like collabs and dude, I was just done, bro.
Yeah, so that
done.
just reminded me of like the Instagram thing you posted and I commented on as far as like kind of like you prostitute your art to like make ends meet or do it like fiscally, financially to get ahead. And so that's kind of how it was for me with like the video thing. Like because I discovered videos through music and I was like, you know, I got to get in front of a camera, whatever. Started doing that. Me and Andy partnered up. He was young. He was like 16. I was like, I don't know, 24 or something, whatever. So, and we like did this Pathfinder thing and, then it was so cool to be able to like make money with a camera and not have to go to a job. Like that was so dope. And then like, you know, now I'm like, I don't know, Pathfinder's been LLC'd for like 7 years or going on 8 years, something like that. So like it turning into like a business and like becoming a job and like you lose a level of the passion to it. Like I don't go out and fucking shoot videos downtown just for fun anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Which I can relate to. It's not like you're probably just sitting there jamming for fun anymore, you know? So like, but for me, like what, at least for me in the video space, what has helped me to maintain the passion for it is like the love of it. And I know like, the love of it, the love of growing it and on the financial end. And like when you scale the financial end, in order to get that, you need team and people and like stuff like that. And I've never been the type of person like self-development, self-help, or help anybody. Like I've always done it for myself because I've been growing as an individual, but I've never had the desire to like put it on other people until I started having like a team and a staff. And I was like, all right, I got to level these fucking people up. So like we started doing like readings weekly. Like we would all read the same book. We would all share our thoughts. We would expand. And that became so rewarding to like help people grow and see their lives transform. And so that's what like links the passion back to like, okay, everything is stemming from the video service. So if we are able to like grow as individuals, we are cultivating this like really great energy and love and frequency for each other. Like, let's just pour this back into the business, give it to our clients, and expand that way. And that's what like connects my like love to it still. It's not necessarily like my favorite thing in the world to go out and like film and do the edits and shit, but there's got to be like something different, which I think what you're doing now, and we'll probably get into the next chapter of this, probably has something similar like that's more rewarding to help people.
Dude, so much more rewarding. like mind-blowingly rewarding. So that really leads me into that. So basically at the end of 2022, I went back to being a server because I just wanted to separate money from music, right?
I've never even thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's like, dude, if my only, kind of source of income was either unemployment at the time and the vocal stuff, it's like, if I wanted to, I wanted to separate making money from doing music. So that's why I went back to being a server in probably about like August and
of 23 or
22.
Okay.
And then right at the end, or I would say the first couple months of 2023, completely was like, dude, I'm done. I don't want to do music anymore right now. And then I was really just focused on like my disc golf career. To be honest, dude, if you guys don't know, like I basically play professional disc golf, and like at the beginning of this year, I like won. It was just like a little local C tier, which is like a lower, like A tier is like a higher tournament with more, better people. But I basically won in the pro division because I usually play AM, and like I got into this tournament late, and he was like, bro, it's just easier if you just play pro. And then I ended up winning, which is cool, man. I was like, and I didn't even win an AM tournament before that. But basically, then I was like all stoked on disc golf, and I love disc golf anyways. Like I've been playing for a long time, and I have friends that are, world champions, and been blessed to like be friends with people who are, at the top of like one of my favorite sports.
That's
which is really cool. And same with kendama.
Oh yeah, you're sick at that too.
Yeah, thanks, man. And that's what like that was basically, when I gave up skateboarding after breaking my arm, when I found kendama, like that was it's like skateboarding for your hand, and I can grind on a trick without like rolling my ankle or dying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
dude.
I broke my wrist this year skateboarding. So.
Dude,
I'm like actually now I'm older. I'm 33, so. I still like I'll get on a skateboard now. I'm like have a fear of it. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know about this
same,
thing.
Man. Yeah, I just turned 34, so I'm with you, man. But yeah. So while I was at the job, I was like, trying to be a pro disc golfer, and that was great.
And so this is like, this is at this point you decided you're like cutting the thread.
Yes.
And you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna go.
I'm
work.
Done. I'm just gonna go to work and like try to play disc golf. Really, like I went outside a lot. I went outside, played disc golf, practiced, and then as I kept working as a server, which I've done for a long time. And I will say that like, because there's so many people who maybe are listening to this or will listen to this that like are in the service industry and then do something on the side, but that role as like a server, and I've never called myself a waiter. You know what I mean? And so for me now, I relate it to. Jesus too, who's the King of Kings, but he's really the servant king. He came to serve. And so when you look at like what we're all meant to do on this earth, and this is going to get back around to what you just said, is like we're all meant to serve. So being a server and having my job be to like show someone a good time, and then it's also sales because I'm selling them food. Right. So it's like it's service and it's sales, and it's also I don't know what you call it, like people relations.
Yeah, whatever. No, it's communications. That's like such a valuable skill. That's why like servers do so great in sales positions. Like,
yeah.
So it's like training. It's like,
exactly. So I would say if anyone's a server right now, it's like, let that work on you. And because being a server, it's like you're developing such good skills that will help you later in life. So if you're like hating your job as a server, it's like
you have probably a lot of valuable skills.
Bro, yes. And if you can find something that you're passionate about, all those skills will transfer over.
100%.
But yeah, like I've been doing serving for a long time and I didn't want to do it anymore, basically. So there were a couple things that came in my mind. First off, I was like, dude, I love helping people. Whenever I meet someone, I always try to like pull out what they're actually passionate about. I love asking people like, if you had $100 million or $1 million, what would you do?
Yeah.
You know, and
Me?
most people, or just anybody. I mean, it's just anybody. I mean, you can answer that, but I like asking that because it gets right to the point of like, if you didn't have to make money, like, what would you do with your life?
Right.
And I only say that to just say, when I talk to someone, it's really hard for me to just have a surface conversation with someone. I always try to like get down to like, they'll tell me their job, and I'm like, what do you like to do? Like, what are you passionate about? You know, and because I always want to try to help people. I always want to try to like give them some encouragement after, like, if they leave a conversation with me, they either feel a little better, or they have like a little bit of motivation, or they have someone in their life telling them like, hey, go for your dreams.
Right.
So I've always been that kind of person. So, and then I was like, man, like, what can I, because dude, you know, you've probably been like this for a long time too. If you're an artist or a musician, you are an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You just are. I mean, so technically I've been an entrepreneur since I was 13, since I decided I want to do music. So like, what's the only genre of like thing that like has information that can help you like get to where you want to be? It's like self-help stuff, right? It's like self-improvement, self-help stuff, you know? So dude, I've been consuming that kind of stuff for forever, man.
Yeah.
You know? And so, which is all business stuff and motivation and systems. And so I was like, bro, like, you know, how can I use my skill set to like freaking make some money and make a business?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Literally. And so like the first thing I did was, I remember buying this like course thing a long time ago. I just thought about making a course. And so I was like, you know, and then at the beginning of the year, like all the AI stuff was like blowing up. So a couple businesses that I kind of like started and stopped really quick was you know that company Iconic who makes those like sports posters with like the motivational stuff? You've probably seen them, dude. Okay. So I had this idea, and I actually saw this, and maybe I'll turn this into something. It's called Method of Mastery, where it was going to be like a print on demand poster of like these motivational things that I would design. So that was one. And then I wanted to make like a lyric writing course. And I still have this, and I basically like use ChatGPT to help me write this like lyric writing book and Notion template. And so then I launched that, and then I was like, basically started kind of putting out, dude, this was crazy, dude. So I started to just put out some stuff about the music industry, and then I just like immediately had a couple people hit me up on Facebook like, hey, can you help me? And so
sick. And
then my mind was like, okay, well, I could probably charge for like basically consultation calls, like pay whatever an hour, and like I'll tell you what to do with your music. You know what I mean? Because dude, like, you know, at that point, even though I didn't do it for myself, like I have observed, not only like I not only have experience to know how to like craft amazing music and work with other people and like the whole branding side of that, but I also like have seen and just been analyzing like how independent artists over the last couple of years have been successful with content. So I have 20 years of experience as a singer-songwriter and knowing how the entire music industry works. And then I've just been, like I said, consuming and curating just in my own, you know, whatever, like how independent artists are successful, because I've just seen it, whether I've completely implemented it or not. And so I was like, dude, I have so much knowledge. And then as I kind of started to get more into figuring out business or thinking about, you know, helping artists, like I realized, dude, what do all freaking, or I guess before I realized this, I was like, you've ever seen that guy, Matt Gray?
No.
He's a business, he makes a bunch of content that you've probably seen, but he has some kind of program. And I was watching his YouTube videos and saw he had something, and I was about to sign up for it. And I really just wanted like to be a part of a community of other entrepreneurs, to just like be around other people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a community like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I am too now, but I just like it's interesting as things come in, as you know, there's that quote like, as when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Right.
When the situations appear. So I just wanted to be in a part of the community. So I realized, like, what do all business people have? They have like a coach.
Yeah.
Like a coach and consultant, or like a mentor is like so normal. And in like a sports team, you know, who's the coaches?
Right.
Like they played the sport at a high level.
Right.
And then I realized like that doesn't exist in the music industry. There's no like coaches or like mentors in the music industry. And I think there are in like small, but it's like not a very like known thing. It's like you hear managers and you hear labels and booking agents, but it's like managers, labels, and booking agents most of them are like not artists. And if you could be an artist, why would you be a manager? Why would you be a booking agent? Why would you have a label?
Yeah, so that's dope. That's a huge, I feel like, need in the market that you kind of like discovered. And so now you're offering those types of services. I remember we talked briefly about like you're still working on crafting a master class, and that's kind of like the future for Zack Gray, or
well, yeah, so it's interesting, man. There's been a lot of stuff that's happened over the last couple of weeks. So basically, instead of working with that guy's program, actually another coach, like kind of who I knew from the past, he hit me up, and we had a call that same day, and I basically signed with him and joined his group of men and went to this retreat that was like life changing. And he was just like a super strong Christian individual, really good businessman, and then had like his own men's group and went to his first retreat. And I mean, dude, it was life changing, and the business partner and friends I have now like came from that. And so the importance of like finding a community or like a mentor that has like a community that you resonate with, whatever you guys want to do, who's ever listening to this, find that. And what I'll tell you guys is like the price is always more than you want to pay.
Yeah.
Always.
Dude, I paid $10,000 for a seminar this year.
So and just like to hammer home this note, like the only thing that will get you to where you want to be is it's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost you a lot of money to either join a group or have a mentor. But that amount of money is like the cheat code to get you where you want to be. Because not only will the person actually help you get there, but I think it's more about investing that amount of money in yourself, which is really like into your future self. And that was like the catalyst for me to launch me to where I am now. It's like whether or not like there was one specific thing of like accountability or systems or blah, blah, blah. It's like when you make a financial commitment like that, you have skin in the game and it forces you to take action.
Yeah. Well, and for me, I study a lot of like esoteric stuff in regards to like the universal like fixed laws. Yeah. And it's like the law of like I just have such a core deep knowing that like whatever you put out you receive tenfold. So like I
mean that's biblical too, man. What you sow, you'll reap, man.
100%. And a lot of it comes from like that far deep, which like the Bible I think is just like interpreted and like understood by different people with different labels and different ways, but it all is like just universal truths. Like you can't shake a universal truth. And so that's the same with investments. That's how I look at things. Like if you invest in yourself, like $10K, like you're gonna 10x it, like and that's something that can never be taken away from you. Like you could buy this fucking watch, it's like $13,000, but someone could take that. You could lose it. It could be stolen, broken, whatever. Yeah. But like when you invest in yourself, like that is like energy and wisdom and information that could never be taken from your knowingness. So that I don't know. I'm huge on investing in yourself too.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So. Yeah, I love that, man. I mean, Alex talks about that a lot. I love Hermosi.
Yeah,
like, he's just like, I mean, dude, there's like my three top entrepreneurs are Hermosi, Myron Golden, because he just teaches everything straight out of the Bible. It's like all Bible principles and everything he does is Bible study. And then you probably know Dan Henry too.
I don't know.
If you don't, you should check out there's a book called Digital Millionaire Secrets, but dude, you'd like a lot of
that book.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Hermosi, like, and dude, actually I should probably tell a little bit of the story. So basically the day I quit my job, right, was,
recently, the 2022 job?
No, I was a server still, until this September, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so, the day before I quit my job was like, I felt like God speaking to me more than I've ever heard in my entire life. But he used a bunch of things that like were like really got to me. So like one of the things was like Alex, like some Instagram video about Alex. He said something about, because it's funny, man. I saw something in the past where he's like, don't quit your job until like, half of your income's already paying for blah, blah, blah. And then there's this other video that I watched that day and it was like, people don't commit because they're always holding on to like half to something else. And so I was like, okay. And then I heard like my manager over talking to our bartender about like, yeah, this girl is like She was a bartender, and then she went to real estate, and she just made the leap, and it was just cool, man. She just did it, And I was like,
I'm gonna fucking do this.
I was like, huh, okay. I didn't say anything, and then I got home. Those times. I mean, we all do this. It's like you just pull in your driveway and you just sit in your car for like a half hour looking at your phone.
I have done that. It's been a while. I have a daughter now, so that's like...
Yeah. Anyways, I did that. I don't have a daughter, but I did that like this night coming home, and so I was scrolling, and something else came. It was this guy like sitting in his studio, and it said like the one decision you're scared to make is the one decision that's going to change everything.
Oh, I have seen some quote like that.
And I was like, huh. And then I literally prayed. I was like, God, I hear you talking to me. I need confirmation, and I got it in a big way that night. And so that next day, like, I was done, man. And it's fade from there. But yeah, I bring up Hermosi just because like he, yeah, man, like what that guy has done and what he does, like the Leads thing.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Leads?
No, I've read the book.
So, dude, I would watch that the live event he does. And I mean, I guess I'll spoil it. It's whatever. So it's like he does his whole presentation, right? And then he goes through, like, dude, I mean, obviously he sold a lot of books, but he had the opportunity in that event to make like, he could have walked away with like 100 million. Because, dude, he has like 500,000 people that are on Zoom, and everyone was waiting for him to pitch an offer. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, this is a whole sales presentation about the book. And then he goes through the thing at the end where it's like, talks basically, he goes into like the sale of the offer. He's like, you're going to get this, and the value of it is this, right? And there's like 10 things at the end. Okay. And he goes, you're not going to get it for 20,000. You're not going to get it for 10,000. You're not even going to get it for 6,000. You're not going to get it for 2,000. And then he's like, you're going to get it for one price of. Just like puts it all up for free. Like
I love that.
And like, anyways, dude, it got me emotional. Like I said, of course he sold a lot of the books, but like, man, he just could have leveraged that whole event to make like a ton of money, and he didn't, so it was cool. But yeah, where do we leave off on?
Well, I got our next guy here. So
okay.
It's been amazing talking with you. I think the future is really bright for you. So maybe you want to give them like a quick, what the direction of this new program is, where you're headed, what the offer is, and where they can find you.
Yeah. So I do one-on-one coaching for artists. I'm specifically kind of focused on melodic bass DJs, which is DJs in the kind of emotional, need a vocalist on their track. Like, I feel like I can serve them kind of the most because I was in that genre for a long time. But I do work with other artists that are outside of the genre. I have a couple clients that aren't just EDM. But I am trying to move away from one-on-one coaching. I'm going to be doing the masterclass, which will be in January. But the pivot, and I'll kind of end on this, is, and this actually goes to Alex. You remember his story where he's, he goes up to some mastermind and the guy tells him like, dude, you've got like a level 10 skill set in like a level 2 environment. Okay, so that's how I've been kind of realizing lately, especially with this business partner, and even my coach has been like, the thing that I go through with my artists at first is this thing I developed called the 5D brand identity blueprint. And it's super in depth, man. Like, what is your why? Who are you? Who inspires you? Like colors, fonts, like references. It's like, it takes people a long time to fill this out. But once you have this thing filled out, whether you're building an offer or whether you're working on content, it's like so thorough. And so what I'm realizing, because I've done this with some friends, is like, this can help anybody. So my pivot is, I'm still going to be helping artists, but I'm basically going to start just working with normal coaches, businesses on their brand. Because I've realized that, like, first off, they need it just as much as musicians do.
Right. And
the same thing that you posted on Instagram the other day, where it was like, solve rich people problems.
Yeah. And I got that from Hermosi.
I know.
Right out of the book.
Yeah. So dude, so how I've been feeling, this is just the absolute truth, is, musicians not only don't have any money, but to change their mindset to get them to invest in themselves is very hard. And so
that's why I stopped doing music videos.
Dude, so but I'll say this. This is the full spectrum of like, you know, kind of to come around to what you were saying about you know, you don't really you don't always like doing the editing and the filming, but it's like, you know, the biggest thing that I've realized, man, is like the fulfillment of the transformation that I've already seen in my clients is really awesome. But what I realized is if I want to come back to music at some point and really put my all into my own craft, and I also really want to help musicians as much as I can, if I have to use my actual skill set, which is actually just like helping people find their purpose and build a brand based on that, and I can help people who actually have money and who are willing to spend money, like business people,
right.
people who are already ready to like build their businesses. Once that is at a level where, you know, there's enough income and revenue generated, then I can really come back and not only pour into my music, but pour into other artists and stuff like that too. So the pivot right now is that. So if you are a musician and you feel like you need help with coaching from someone who has a artist perspective, not only can I help you with your brand or content, but with my business partner and some other partners, I can actually also help people get funded. So I can fix your credit. We can get you funded so you can keep all the percentages to your music. And imagine being able to just get funded instead of giving half of your music away to record labels. And then the last thing I'll say is, if you are a business who's, or a coach or consultant or creative agency who's struggling with your brand or your purpose or anything, can really help you figure that out and create a solid framework of making your content, knowing what to do, and building a brand that's authentic to you.
Let's freaking go, bro. Where can the people find you?
Yeah, I would just say easiest thing is just Instagram. So Instagram at Zack Gray, so ZackGray. And if you guys are interested in my music, same thing on Spotify. And then my company is called Sustainable Creative, and that's sustainable.creative on Instagram.
Let's go, bro. It's been a pleasure.
Dude, yes. Thanks for having me, man.
Let's go.
Let's go.